Deze video is mede mogelijk gemaakt door Global Joy Media Groep.
So to create this great experience, to create this additional channel, well, you need to add a couple of things behind the scenes that make this product experience possible. So it's not just about part of the company, it's about the holistic picture. Then they need the Apple brand to be able to create these new products. But the extra step, and this is where they differentiated most, and this is the most important part of this business model, is that they didn't stop at marketing. They said, well, if we want to create this great music experience, we need to make content agreements with the major record companies. Now, do you think that's easy to do? To create these agreements with the 4 big record companies? It's a catastrophe. To deal with any big record company is difficult, but they did it. Why did they do it? Because they wanted to go beyond the product towards this holistic experience, so they needed to add things on the left-hand side. That's business model innovation, and that's what drives Apple's business model in addition to their marketing talent. It's because they took this holistic picture, right? So what do they do in key activities? The obvious hardware, software design they produce with so-called original equipment manufacturers. They're good at supply chain management, they're good at marketing and sales, you know that. But what's interesting then, if you have this, very straightforward, you can generate the cost structures. People, design, development, hardware manufacturing, and obviously the marketing. But what it means for you is, when you want to launch a new product, when you want to launch something here, you can never disconnect from the big picture. Because if you do, you will become just a seller of a product. And selling is dead. We need new business models. So if we take this forward to the iPhone, they're building on this. They're using this, or they use this to make the iPhone successful. Now you have other manufacturers like Samsung. Samsung is a very well-known mobile phone brand. But Samsung is good at creating hardware. But they have no clue, no clue about how to create business models. So that's why Apple will continue to succeed selling music through the iPod. But what they've done in addition, they've learned from that, and with the iPhone they started selling applications, right? But to sell those applications you need to do things in the business model as well. Now they're moving on with the iPad. What are they doing with the iPad? You know that as marketers, they're starting to use marketing as well. But that is not just a small incremental change in their product line, it's a huge shift in business models. So I'll keep it there. And I don't know if there are any questions. I know this was slightly different from the usual marketing talk you have. I didn't teach you how to do better advertising, but I wouldn't do that because I think advertising is dead. So we have questions over there, or do you? Yeah? Great.
Is it working? Yeah.
Why do you speak of a business model altogether? Since it's like an organic process, and since you are working together with all kinds of departments in the company, it's organic. Is it planned whatsoever?
Yeah, organic is a nice term. I could call it ad hoc, I could call it chaos, I could call it good luck. So what companies are seeking now is to actually, so what has happened here to a certain extent organically, they're putting in place processes to get people to work together across these different departments. So a very good example is Telenor. Telenor is the 7th biggest mobile phone operator in the world. When they start a new product, they always put together a team of marketers, well, always is a bit exaggerated, marketers, technology people, sociologists, social scientists, and they start working in a multidisciplinary team, but with a process and with a method. So with a method is what you do, you're just more systematic and you increase your chance to be lucky.
But do you expect this is temporary, since we're in a kind of paradigm shift, or is this structural? Can we throw all the MBA certificates in the dustbin? What are your expectations?
Well, I think it's structural, yes. I don't think we need to throw MBAs in the dustbin. But I think the mindset is changing because we don't necessarily teach this kind of thinking today. But it's happening more and more, and that's why I can stand on a stage here, and that's why I can earn a living talking about business models. It's really becoming something that will be common in every company around the world. And that's why the book, at the end of the day, is selling pretty well, because we were able to give this as a tool to companies. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alex, I've been to 3 presentations and all used as example Apple.
Yeah.
I don't know, are there no other examples?
No, I use Apple because, and that's why others use it. I don't like using Apple because everybody uses it. But if you look at the picture before, Apple is definitely the leader when it comes to business model transformation, because they went through 4 stages. And I use it because people can connect to it. I could use Nespresso, I could use Daimler with Car2Go, I could use Skype, but they don't allow me to illustrate all that I would. So I know that Apple is probably not always the best to use in that sense, but I think there's a reason why they're generating so many profits, because they know how to do it.
Is it also not a little bit luck, you know, because Apple was nearly bankrupt 15 years ago, that they had to find a niche, and that, and in the end you look in hindsight and say, yeah, it was a great strategy, well, but maybe at the moment, at that time, it was just a lucky guess. Could that be?
I would say that this was the first step, right? When Steve Jobs took over, the first thing he did was to tighten the product portfolio. That he succeeded with that was luck. I think it was sound decisions, but that he succeeded with that was luck. The rest was pretty good strategic management. Now, not everything came up from themselves, but they were good enough to listen, to open their ears. So typically here, Market Operator, where they started to sell applications through their platform, they didn't have that idea. That idea came from the market itself. Developers said, we want to sell through your platform. But since Apple knew what they could do with music, they understood what they could do here. So of course, part of it was lucky that they succeeded, but I think they were very strategic in constantly iterating their business model. So I think you can be more systematic, and you can systemize luck. It's a little bit like venture capitalism. You have to invest in many ideas so it works out. And they have products that didn't work. Apple TV and all that fun stuff didn't work.
Okay, thank you.